Shadow work isn't about fixing yourself, it's about meeting yourself. Welcome to the PivotSimply Podcast, where conscious growth meets your emotional healing. I'm your host, Mithlesh, and today we are going to talk about something that lives in the background of our lives and yet holds the power to completely transform us from inside out. So, if you have been trying to transform yourself and thinking, what are you missing right now? Then it's about your shadow work. This episode is for you if you ever found yourself stuck in old patterns, struggling with emotional triggers, or wondering why the same inner wounds keep resurfacing. Even after doing so much of work, we are going to break down these challenges today that you've been facing during your shadow work, and most importantly, how can you move through them with practical self awareness techniques. So, I would encourage you to grab your journal and take notes from here so that you can progress from here. So, first thing is about why your shadow work feels so hard. Now, the most important thing is shadow work isn't about fixing what's broken. It's not a fixed work. It's about facing the hidden part of yourself that you have been rejecting, denying, suppressing, and sometimes since childhood. So, let's be real. It's not gonna be an easy work. Doing a shadow work is extremely hard, but it is possible. Now, most people, those who have been trying to do the shadow work for a very long time and have not been achieving success, is mainly because of these three problems. And I'm going to share these challenges with you here. So, number one, and that sounds so simple, but it's the most profound challenge anybody faces. It's all about they don't even know. And if you're listening this, probably this question would have come in your mind as well, asking yourself that I don't even know what my shadows are. You might feel triggered, you might feel overwhelmed, stuck, but you don't even know what's causing it. Why are you feeling these emotions? So now I'm going to give you an actionable step that would help you to achieve this. So you are going to start a journal that's called Trigger Tracker. So every time you feel reactive, you feel defensive, you feel low, you feel your emotions are not in place, then you need to write this down in your journal and you have to let your mind guide you. So, number one is about you need to ask yourself when you feel triggered, overwhelmed, stuck, what happened? It might sound simple, but actually, you would unravel a lot about yourself and what's beneath that trigger. So, number one is about you need to journal it down about the event, what happened exactly. And second is about your emotions. So, what emotion did I feel? And third is about recollecting. So, asking yourself, what did it remind me of? And you would be surprised to see that that trigger happened to you. It was nothing to do with that event, but probably there is something deeper sitting beneath there that you need to unravel. And you would realize that patterns will start to surface, and that's your shadow talking. Now you would understand what shadow is all about. Now, challenge number two is, and that I often hear, is about feeling scared, feeling fearful to face their own shadows. So people, they say this, I'm scared of what I will find. So many people, they fear their own shadows. So anybody reacting in an odd way, it's because they are facing their own shadows. It's never about the other person, it's about their own shadows. So many people, they don't like what they see. It might not be good, it might be ugly, it might be unlovable. But here's the thing, your shadow is not evil. It's basically your own protective mechanism that you have formed since childhood to protect yourself. Your coping mechanism to protect yourself. Now, how can we release this? So, your step one is about you need to write a compassion letter for your own inner child. And that might sound woo woo, or you might think that nothing happens. But when you are in a situation where you feel that you are being triggered, you are being emotional, overly emotional, you would find a lot about yourself. So you got to be writing down a compassion letter for your inner child. What inner child is? That's your younger self. And the chances are, if you have been facing anything, if you feel life is so hard, then probably your younger self, your inner child, has never been healed. So, writing it to yourself that I know you were just trying to protect me when. So, you need to complete this sentence and trying to find what comes in your mind. And then you need to seek forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself and you need to forgive anybody who's involved to make you feel like that. And also showing gratitude. You might be wondering why I need to show gratitude for this. But the thing is, the person you have become, it's not because of all the success you got in your life. It's also about the challenges you face. And challenges shapes a person. It's all about how you take it. It's about your own choices. So if you are a resilient one today, then you need to be thanking your challenges. Now, third challenge that I hear often is about people asking that I keep on repeating the same patterns. Now, you might be wondering that you have been doing the work, but the same emotional spiral, your same kind of behaviors, it keep on showing up. Then here's the thing: it's not just about your awareness. It's not about that you being aware of your situation, your own patterns, behaviors, but it's mostly about integration. So practice this today and remember pattern interrupts ritual. So when you notice yourself in a repeated loop, you need to pause and place one hand on your heart and say, I see you, I won't abandon you. And then take a different micro action, probably expressing yourself or maybe walking away from there, saying no, defining your own boundaries. So, whatever can break the old story. So, if you have been someone who's been probably, you have always felt you're an outcast in groups, you have low self expression, probably you have been a giver trying to make everyone feel happy in your life, in the communities, friend circles, but then somewhere you have not learned to define your own boundaries. So you need to be learning how to say no. And people who say no easily, they are the one who actually control their own time, their energy, their money. So it might sound simple, but it is not. So you got to be practicing and learning how to say no. So that's the reason you would realize that suddenly sometimes you feel, if when you feel triggered, you again feel that things are not working. But healing isn't linear, and this is the one of the most common myth in healing, is that it's a straight line, but it's not. Sometimes you start, you get better, you stay better, but healing is like spiral shaped. It goes in circles. There are times when you feel high, there are times when you feel low. But here's the thing: every time you're made to revisit the same theme at the deeper level. And it's not about you failing and not achieving your healing or whatever you are going after. It's more about that you are integrating it, you are evolving. So here's the actionable step you can take. Every weekend you can have your own healing spiral check-in. So weekend you can look back and you can make a note in your journal as well, that what's coming up emotionally this week, how is it familiar, how am I responding differently this time. And make sure you celebrate your shifts, and that's how change stays and it sticks. So the here's the thing: it's all about you reprogramming your inner dialogue. So the voice of your shadow is usually very critical, fear based, and it might tell you that, it might label you, and probably you've been doing that, you are not good enough, or maybe you are too much. Maybe if you've been authentic, people, your friends, they won't like you, they would leave you. And chances are, when you are being real, when you are authentic, when you're living your truth, it's normal to lose people, because not everyone is supposed to go along in your journey, and also not everyone appreciates authenticity. And we live in a world where all people exist. So having that expectation of trying to please everyone, trying to make everyone happy except yourself, that doesn't work in real life. As you are moving along, you meet new people and you leave your older self behind. You need to allow yourself your own healing voice to sound different, to help you, to make you feel and realize that you're on the right path. So, saying things like your emotions matter, you are worthy, even when you feel you are messy or you are different, you are odd, but you are worthy. You're born for a reason. So, here's your actionable step here. Whenever you catch a critical inner thought, you need to pause and write, think about it. That what is that shadow thought you've got just now? Saying probably I am lazy. A lot of people they very proudly call themselves lazy. So that itself is a label. Catching those thoughts, if you're calling yourself lazy, and then you need to have a reframe. Probably you're not lazy, but you're tired because you've been carrying these weights. Probably you just need some rest. And reminding yourself that your rest is important and that is also part of your healing. So there are chances when you're going through this path as you expected that it's gonna be linear journey and you're gonna do these steps and it's gonna work like that. But like I said, it's a spiral. It's not a linear journey. So when you feel like giving up and when you feel you are deep in your shadow work, but there are moments when you're feeling like it's not working and I need to quit. When that happens, then remember this that healing is not about doing it perfectly. It's about showing up again. It's about your consistency. It's about your integrity. It's about you forming your habits, you taking micro actions. So your shadow is never trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect the version of you that once had no tools. But you are not that same person now. If you're listening to this episode, you have gained few tools here to be working on your own healing journey. And if you are landed here, it's not a coincidence. It means you are already doing something to go through your own healing journey towards your next version that's waiting for you. Remember this, always have this thought in your mind. Whatever you have when you feel triggered and you have any thought, then reminding yourself that you are safe. So even now and thinking whatever it is the situation in your life is, just repeating that I'm still safe, and you need to repeat it until your body feel relaxed. So now we are nearly at the end of this episode, and it's about that shadow work is actually a very important tool. If you can practice, only the courageous ones can do it. And the fact that you are here means you are already doing the work. You are meeting your own edges, you are breaking your own loops, you are walking yourself home. So I would like you to reflect on this one powerful journal prompt and being honest with yourself and journaling on it, asking yourself, which part of me have I tried to hide that actually just wants to be loved? And listen to this again, it's powerful. That's where you meet yourself. So, asking yourself, which part of me have I tried to hide that actually just wants to be loved? Now, this is something that I would like you to take with you today, not as your task, but as a gentle nudge, gentle unfolding for yourself, so that you remind yourself that you are a loving being and you are allowed to heal and it's safe for you to heal. I hope this episode resonated with you. If it did, do let me know. And please do practice with all the techniques and tools being shared here. And if you are interested, I would highly encourage you to join Unbound. That's a self healing portal. And you would see that the life you have been living so far, that was just hardly a tiny percentage of your full potential. So you have greater things ahead of you, and I would like you to start working on yourself, start doing your shadow, or start taking it seriously, but not having too much of weight on your shoulders as well. but allowing yourself to heal so that not only you change yourself, but you also help your future generations. And what can be the biggest gift you can leave behind yourself? So I hope you like this episode today. Do let me know. I am looking forward to speak to you guys next week. Bye for now.